Good platform. My name is Marush Sharma, your logical reasoning expert, and we are here today to start and finish this short, sweet topic, logical Venn diagrams. Okay, so I'll quickly, briefly revise the concept with you, and then we'll start solving the questions. Initially, you will see some very good questions where you will actually feel that yes, there is some sort of a challenge involved here, and then gradually you will see the actual questions which have been asked in the past few years, and you will find it somewhat to be very easy. So let's not waste a lot of time. Let's quickly start revising logical Venn diagrams. So when I talk of Venn diagrams, see, by now I'm expecting if you have done syllogisms, you already know quite a bit about Venn diagrams already. So as a tool, we are using it for syllogisms, but what exactly is a Venn diagram? So it was given by a mathematician named Venn, and it is used to represent elements and their relationships. Now, what are elements? Elements, good evening. Elements means anything. Any object in this world can be labeled as an element. This marker is an element, I am an element, you are an element, AC is an element, board is an element, studio is an element, fan is an element, chair is an element, camera is an element. Anything and everything in this world can be labeled as an element. And if I pick up these elements and if I try to establish a relationship between them and depict it with the help of a figure, then we call that figure as a Venn diagram. We represent every element with closed figures, okay, polygons or closed figures, that is circles and squares, rectangles, triangles, anything, and you depict the relationship between them. Now, when I talk of Venn diagrams, you will come across two major types of questions in Venn diagrams. One is the entity-based Venn diagram. The other one is known as the representative-based Venn diagram. What is the difference between the two? Let me just clarify that for you. So entity-based, in SSC exams, majorly you will see entity-based questions where there are 3, sometimes 4, sometimes 5 words given to you, and there are 4 options which have figures, Venn diagrams. Based on these 5 words, you have to check that which figure is the best representation of the relationship between the 5, 4, 3 words, whatever are given to you. Majority of the times, mostly you will see 3 words, but sometimes they can be 4, 5. There's no limit to it basically, right? Now, to understand this concept quickly, what exactly you need to know is you need to know the relationships which we use in Venn diagrams. So we have learned it already in syllogisms. Hopefully you remember that there are 4 major types of statements which we use in syllogisms: some, all, no, some not. Based on similar grounds, you will see 3 different types of relationships in Venn diagrams, okay? And those relationships are some, all, and no. So what will you do is you will establish these relations between the entities given to you, and then accordingly you can draw or choose a Venn diagram. For example, you will establish a relationship of sum between 2 elements, let's say A and B. So the Venn diagram will look something like this between A and B. Some part of A is common with B, some part of B is common with A. You will establish a relationship of all between A and B. So it will look like this: all part of A is common in B. And you establish a relationship of no. So in syllogism, what we used to do is we used to draw 2 entities like this, and we used to draw this line and a cross in between to depict a no. That okay, any element of A is restricted to be a part of B and vice versa. Now that no, the way we used to use it in syllogism is quite different. In syllogisms only, you must have learned about a concept that the relationship cannot be determined between 2 entities. That is precisely the type of figure which we use here, and is mathematically also correct. That is simple. There's no joint in between. Okay, so A and B, no relation between the two. No A are B, and no B are A, vice versa. Now, how do you actually use it? So basically, let me give you an example. Let's say there are 3 words given to you: tomato, fruit, and mango. These are the 3 words given to you. You need to check what will the Venn diagram look like. So you will check the relationship between 2 words at a time, and the relationships will be in both directions. So from tomato to fruit, what do you think is the relationship? A lot of people might not know this. It's a 9th standard biology concept. Tomato comes under the category of a fruit because of the seeds present in it. It's not a vegetable, contrary to popular belief. So tomato, fruit. So all tomatoes are fruits. What about fruits and tomatoes? Some fruits are tomatoes. Not all fruits are tomatoes. So all tomatoes come under the category of fruits, and some fruits will be called as or labeled as tomatoes. What about fruit and mango? Again, all mangoes are fruits and some fruits are mangoes. What about tomato and mango? So tomato and mango, there is a relationship of no. No tomato or mango. Now, for all and some, there will be two-way relationships. For no, I mean, if you have gotten no from one end, the other end also is going to be no only. Now, to convert this quickly into a Venn diagram, if you observe, whenever you see a pair of all and some together, you will preferably always draw the figure of all. And otherwise, if you see some and some here, then you will draw the figure of some. If you see a no, obviously you will draw no. So, tomato and mango, there is no relationship. All tomatoes are part of fruits. All mangoes are also parts of fruits. So, this is how it will look like. This is my final Venn diagram. Okay. Why am I doing all this? Because it is going to make it easy for me to visualize an answer. Sometimes, not always, but sometimes it often confuses students. So, if they know this, it is easier for them to approach it and solve it quickly. So, you will have 4 different options with different types of Venn diagrams. You will choose the one which best represents your answer. Sometimes they will ask you in the reverse order also, where they will give you a Venn diagram as a question and 4 options which will have set of 3 words each, and you will choose the correct word which is being represented by the given Venn diagram. This is actually a very easy concept, entity based Venn diagrams, and almost always you will find questions based on this. But in the last 2 years, if you just observe in the last 2 years, mostly you will not find a lot of questions in the SSC exams from Venn diagrams. But before that, one question was almost always fixed in every shift of tier 1 from your entity based Venn diagram. Okay. Then comes representative. Representative in itself is again divided into 2 parts. Part 1 is known as the part where figure is given. So both these entities, both these units, entity based and figure is given based representative, these are the questions which are often asked in SSC. This is something which has never been asked in SSC till date. We'll discuss this also just for the sake of better understanding. What happens in this category is there is a single figure given to you, something like this. So they can draw a figure like this. They may label it, they may not label it. So we have Indians, we have farmers, and we have educated. That means, or they'll write it in the question that the circle represents Indians, the triangle represents farmers, and the rectangle or square, whatever this represents educated people. Now they will be having numbers. Each of them will hold numbers. Numbers will depict the number of people who fall under this category. So let's say I have 10, 11, 15, 12, 9, 8, 6, something of this sort. Random numbers are mentioned. Okay. Now the question is, they are going to ask you questions now. They'll ask you, how many Indian farmers are educated? If this is the scenario, how many Indian farmers are educated? That means we are looking for an entity which is a part of Indians, farmers and educated. So 12 is the correct answer. It has to be the part of the circle, triangle and the square, right? So 12 such people are there. Okay, how many foreign farmers are uneducated? Now this poses a problem. Neither do I have the word foreign here, neither do I have the word uneducated here. Basically, foreign means anything which is not Indian for us. And uneducated means which is not a part of educated. So it only technically is talking about these 15 people who are farmers. They are neither Indians nor educated. So either they'll ask you in the form that how many farmers are neither Indians nor educated, or they'll ask you how many foreign farmers are uneducated. One and the same thing. Okay. How many educated Indians do not perform farming? Okay. So how many educated Indians do not perform farming? All right. How many uneducated Indians work in other sectors except for farming? Uneducated Indians, but except farming, only 10 people. So the language plays key here. The language can actually confuse you and make you mark different answers which might not be correct, but that's the whole idea here, and this is also pretty simple. So this section in itself is very easy. It makes Venn diagram pretty approachable, and you will easily be able to solve these questions and mark them in your exams. The only game is about time. A lot of people take a lot of time to solve this question. I mean, not a lot of, I would say. Some students take 15, 20, 25, 30 seconds. Some students will take 10 seconds only. So we want to aim at the 10, 12 second mark for these questions to save time. What is here? So we have the set theory based representative questions here. Okay. Set theory based representative questions here. So for example, they will have a figure like this. Let's say I have a figure like this. So you'll have to understand some points quickly. Let's say, so we are talking about a class of 100 students. Okay. Some of them like the subject of English. Some of them like the subject of maths. Okay. Now understand this set theory based. So this is the element of English. These are all the elements of maths. Okay. There will be some numbers written here as per the question. What is the point here in set theory? This figure is not given actually. There will be instructions given to you. You will make this figure yourself and then answer the remaining questions. That's the idea. Now, what is this unit called? So this unit, which is common in both of them, we call it intersection. We label it like this, E intersection M. We use a small n in between and we label it as intersection. Intersection means common between the two entities. And what about this? So if I take only this region and only this region and only this region, not E plus M. This is not E plus M. This is only this region of E plus the common region plus this region of M. The total here, we call it as union. E union M is known as union. Make sure you know this. Okay. Now, the question is telling me that, let's say there are 50 students who like English. So in a class of 100 students, 50 students like English. Do not put anything in this category inside here. Okay. Now they are saying there are 68 students who like mathematics. So there are 68 students who like mathematics. Alright. Now they are saying there are 20 students who like both. The moment they tell you that there are 20 students who like both, this is where you will start filling the figure. You will always fill it in the intersection part and then you will come out. So 20 students like both. So in the English circle, there are 50 students in all, 20 like both, so 30 like exclusively English. Similarly, in the math circle, there are 20 students who like both, there are 68 total, so 48 like only maths. What is the total? What is the union here? The union is 30 plus 20, 50 plus 48, 98. The question is, how many students like neither English nor maths? Nothing of that sort is given here in the figure. But initially, the question told you that there are 100 students in the class. So now comes the concept of universal set. Universal set means everything which is not a part of this game will come outside. So if there were total 100 students, these 50 like English, these 68 like maths, but there are 2 students left who like none of them, and that is precisely going to be my answer. Okay. This is how a set theory based question looks like. They can sometimes give you 3 entities. They'll tell you that there are 3 games popular in the class. Let's say cricket, hockey and football. Then they'll say you so many people like all 3 of them. So many people like only cricket, hockey, only cricket, football, only football, hockey. Like this, they'll give you the questions. You'll fill it in the figure and you'll start solving your questions. Right? So that's the idea of set theory. But it has never been asked in any SSC exam so far. Right? But again, there's no restriction in the syllabus. So maybe yes, maybe no. That's why covering it is always better, right? That's it. Quick, brief, short revision. Let's start solving the questions. So this is the first question for all of you. Quickly put the answers in the chat box, everybody. Quickly. A few initial questions I'll give you some time to solve. Then the questions after, let's say 4 or 5 questions from now, you'll be able to solve them almost instantly. Yes, everyone. Right. Now, never waste your time reading this. They will never label the questions. Okay, they label the figure. So don't waste your time looking at it. Just straight away start reading the question and wherever it is required, just tally. So question says, what is the sum total of the following? Women academicians who are teachers. Women academicians, teachers. So D, A and E. It should be a part of these 3 circles. D, A and E. So we have 19 people here. Okay, next. Teachers who are doctors. E, C. E and C. We have 20 people here. And men who are neither teachers nor academicians. So it should be a part of B, but not A and E. Should be a part of B, but not A and E. So only 28 are left here. But they are asking you the total here. 8 and 9. Unit digit is 7. which is only 67. So option D is the right answer. Easy question. Okay, next. It's all a game of observation. Okay, now the question is saying how many volunteers are supervisors? How many volunteers means the vertical rectangle, are supervisors means the triangle, but neither donors nor field workers. Okay, first let us see what is common in the triangle and a vertical rectangle. We have 23, 33 and 23. That's it. But they should also not be a part of the ellipse and the horizontal rectangle. So neither this is true, nor this is true, nor this is true. They cannot be a part of them. That means there are no such people who are actually satisfying this logic. So option C is the correct answer. 0. Right? Next, look at this. Is a very good question. See, as confusing as this may seem, but it is actually very easy. The question says that first there is a Venn diagram. First observe the whole Venn diagram. Okay, this circle is for the artist, this is for the cartoonist, this is for the billionaires. Now they are saying that if the gray region is removed, then which of these following conclusions can be drawn, or which of the following relations is true? Okay, now start with the smallest area. So this area is the smallest part, which was a part of the artist circle, right? Okay. The next area is this one, which is a part of the cartoonist circle, and it completely holds the artist circle within it. So this is the cartoonist circle. And then the largest area is this white portion, which is a part of the billionaire circle, which holds both of them. So basically the figure which is left will now be converted like this. Now which of the conclusion can be easily drawn? All billionaires are artists? No. All artists are cartoonists? Absolutely yes. Option B is the only one conclusion which you can draw. Definitely. You are looking for a definite conclusion. So option B is the right answer. Simple. Next. This is a very good question. This is a set theory based question. Okay. I'm giving you some time. Try to solve this. Very good. Excellent. Now, what is the logic involved here? A lot of people, you need to understand this, that this is the figure given to you. The question is saying that there are 7,500 officers in a state. Among them, 62% are punctual, 58 are honest, 70% are brave, and then there are other data given. Finally, they're asking you what percentage are punctual, honest, and brave. That means eventually you are asked to find the value of D. Now, I don't know anything else about the data except what is mentioned here. Okay, I know the value of G plus D, E plus D, and F plus D, nothing else. So ideally, the problem is that there are a lot of variables involved, and if I generally solve it, it's going to take a lot of time to generate as many linear equations and then solve it. 7,500 officers actually implies 100% total, the union, and there are other percentages. We'll solve it in percentage only because percentage is what is required as the answer. So here you require a formula, okay, a set theory based formula. Let me give that to you. So our aim is to generate this image. Our aim is to find the union to A plus B plus C plus D plus E plus F plus G. How do we do that? So our aim is to find the N number of punctual, union, honest, union, brave. We just need to add all of them one time. How will I find this? How will I start this? So I will first add the punctual circle. Okay, I'll first add this circle, the complete circle. A, G, D, F. So I'm adding N of P. Next, I will add the honest circle, N of H. When I do that, I observe that this G plus D I have added twice. I have added this twice in this whole area. So I will subtract this one time, N of P intersection H. We will subtract this one time. So now what do we have? We have this unit here. Okay, then this unit here, and then this unit here. This is what we have with us. Now we will add the third element, brave. When we add this here, again we are generating this as a common figure and this also as a common figure. So we need to, because we are adding this twice now and this also twice now. So we'll subtract this area and this area. So we'll say minus N of H intersection B and minus N of P intersection B. Right? When I do that successfully, the problem is, what am I left with now? So this area is there, Okay, this area is there. Then this area is there. And this area is there. But this is missing. I have all the individual areas which I need. But this area is not there at all. I have subtracted it completely. So I need to add it once. So finally I'll add it n of, and let me add it here, n of P intersection H intersection B, common area between the three. Now let's replace it with the numbers. So n of P is 62% plus n of H is 58% plus n of B is 70% minus P intersection H 38% minus 48% honest and brave minus 36% punctual and brave plus in the end we need to find the D. What is the union? It's 100. So now you simply need to solve this to find the value of D. When you solve it, you get D as 32%. So knowing this formula is also going to make things easy for you. This formula is taught in 11th standard set theory. Very easy concept, nothing difficult. And you might have felt that this was quite long method to solve the question, but it is actually not. Just that I have explained this formula to you. Now you just need to remember this, put the values and solve it. Okay, so that will save more time if a question gets complicated. Generally, you can solve it with the figures also. Like in the next question. Here again, you will be able to solve it with the help of a figure itself. This is also set theory based question. L and A are classmates as well as good friends. In a class of 30 students, L has 10 unique friends. This is L, this is A. L has 10 unique friends. Unique means only friends of L. And 5 friends were common to A. So these are 5 people here. A has total 17 friends. Total 17 means 5 are already here, so 12 will be here. What is the total here? 10 plus 5, 15 plus 12, 27 people are here. But the class was of 30 students. That means there are 3 students in the universal set. The question is asking me how many students are friends with neither L nor A. How many? Answer is 3. Option B. So it's not necessary to solve it with the formula every time. You can use the figure most probably, but sometimes formula also helps. Now, these are the questions which will actually seem like cakewalk to you. You'll be able to solve them very quickly. Just look at this question. There are only 3 entities in the figure. Okay. Never, strictly never read the label first. Read the question first. The question is asking me which region represents the persons who are engineers and doctors but not male. Only focus on not male. If they have asked you something which is not there and the other two need to be there in a 3-figure set, focus on the one figure not male. See what is male. Male is circles. Just exclude the circles and the other two should be common. So we have 2 as the correct answer. Option D. What does this process do? This whole process shortens the time of visualization. See, there is a problem which is known as how do I define it? If I'm swaying away, right? If I'm doing something and I'm just getting swayed, or I'm just getting off track, I'm losing focus, right? So this is losing visual focus. If you lose a lot of time in visual focus, you just try to, your eyes hover around on the question and try to locate the exact location, exact point which needs to be visualized. That also kills time. So if you have a set algorithm, steps of how you need to proceed, this can become faster. Okay. So if you have a 3, 4, 5, any number of entity setup where others, everything is required except for one, just look for that one figure, which is representing that figure, and then immediately exclude that and pick up the common area in the rest of it. Right? Next. See, it's labeled here, but every time it's not going to be labeled. Okay. Hockey, cricket, football. How many students play hockey as well as football? Now, a lot of people look at this hockey as well as football. They will see this is the common one and they'll mark option A, B as the correct answer. But see, I told you when there is a 3-entity setup, look for the one which is not there. But they have not mentioned anything about it being not cricket. They are only saying how many students play hockey as well as football. I am not bothered about cricket. So then you look at the whole region which is common between the two. So you have 7 people here and 8 people here. The answer is going to be option D, 50. Be careful about these questions. Little situations can actually prove fatal to you in the examination. Correct set that represents the following Venn diagrams. Correct set that represents the following Venn diagram. So we can see now, quickly eliminate them. So flesh eating, see one element is completely not related. Tigers, lions, flesh eating, it cannot be possible because they are all 3 of them are related. Goat, buffalo, grass eating, all 3 are related. Cows, deer, grass eating, all 3 are related. So this is the only option where they are tigers, they are all flesh eating animals, cows are not. So option A is the right answer. So previous question somebody has asked again. Look at this one. Okay. The question is asking me how many students play hockey as well as football. So the person has to play hockey and football also. That means it has to be common between hockey and football. Now, what is common in both hockey and football? It is this region 8 and this region also, no, 7. The thing is that these 7 people play hockey, football and cricket also. But the question has not told me anything about cricket. That means The question is not asking me how many students play hockey and football but not cricket. If that was the case, then 8 would have been correct. Or they will ask how many students play all three, hockey, football and cricket, then 7 would have been correct. But the question is only asking me how many play hockey and football. That's it. It's not telling about cricket. Whether they play cricket, whether they don't play cricket, I will have to count both of them. So I will count these 8 people and these 7 people together, which adds the total to be 15, which is option D. Clear? Next. Very good. Who possesses? Total number of people who possess a car and gold but not house. Now, again, same thing. 3 entities, only one is not. So, not house. Look for the house. What is house? House is this square. Square represents the house. Okay, so they should not be a part of the square, but should be common in both the others. So, it's 4. Roman numeral 4. Option C. But there is a confusion here for a lot of students. Those who read the whole question, they get stuck in a problem. They look at option D and they think that they should have a car and gold but not a house. So these people have a car, these people have gold, and these people have both of them. So I think I can count 1, 4 and 7, right? You could have done that if this was instead of and they had asked you or. If the question was what is the total number of people who possess a car or gold but not a house. So a car or gold can be either 1, 7 or 4. So 1 plus 4 plus 7 will be the correct answer. But since it is asking you and, then you will not consider these cases. Okay. It has to be both of them simultaneously. Hence option C is the right answer. Cool. Next. The diagram that represents rational numbers, irrational numbers and real numbers. If you know the concept, it's easy. If you don't know the basic concept, then you will face trouble here. So there are real numbers as the primary numbers. Number systems are divided into 2 types. Real numbers and complex numbers or imaginary numbers. And real numbers are further divided into 2 major types, rational numbers and irrational numbers. They have nothing common between them. So real numbers into rational and irrational, option D is the right answer, where this is denoted by R, standing for real numbers. This is Q, denoting rational numbers, and this is we don't denote anything with irrational numbers, but let's say I give it I. So this is how the figure will look like. Option D is the best representation. Okay. Next. Now here the question is asking you, directly read the question. Total number of students studying language and geography but not history. Which one is history? So if you see LMN are history, geography and language. L stands for history. So we are not looking for people who are a category of L, but common in both the others. 9 is the only possibility. Don't get confused with all these numbers in the universal set, because they are those people who are neither students of language nor history nor geography. Question does not ask you anything about them, right? So 9 is the correct answer. Cool. Next. Now I think it's quite evident. You will be easily able to solve these questions now. Right. Suffered from both allergy and chickenpox but not common cold. So eliminate common cold. Allergy and chickenpox is 17. So option A is the right answer. This was labeled, but even if it was not labeled, you should not have faced a lot of problems. Agreed? That's the idea. Pick up the right figure after you are reading the question, not beforehand. Don't waste your time in reading which figure is representing what. Again, this is labeled, so it becomes easy. Students who like hazelnut but not cashew. Again, they are not talking anything about almonds. So they should like hazelnut but not cashew. Lot of people in hurry, they mark 120 as answer, which is not true. See, they are liking hazelnut but not cashew. So it should not be a part of this circle. That's it. It can be a part of anything else. But of course, you have to like hazelnut also. So hazelnut alone and hazelnut almond, both will be calculated. So 139 is the correct answer. Okay. Be careful in what you are marking, right? And this is the last question for today. Right. So doctors who are also joggers but not NRIs. Not NRIs but doctors and joggers 45. Cool. So that's it for today. We'll end it here. Right. Thank you so much for being with me till here. I'll see you around in the next session. Till then, with a new topic. Till then, you guys take care. Bye-bye. Namaskar. Jai Hind.